Hello students, in our previous part we saw that RAM is directly connected with CPU and input output unit, the devices through which we give input to the computer or the devices through which we get output from the computer. These things are collectively known as input output unit, or in short IO unit. Further, we can see how ROM is also connected with this ROM. This ROM is also connected with RAM. Since ROM is a read-only memory, therefore what? The instructions which is there in ROM is read by RAM. What does a ROM contain? ROM contain vital instructions, very important instructions, which are important in the beginning. When we switch on the computer, then it displays in the front screen. Just when you switch on the computer, it displays the brand of which your laptop or desktop is there, like HP appears or Lenovo or Dell something appears. So after that, machine boots, it starts, then various things then happens. So what I want to tell you is, when we switch on the computer, the instructions which are there in ROM are read by RAM and then processed, and then work is done. There is a word known as BIOS. The full form is Basic Input Output Services. Okay? This is the name of a program, BIOS program, which is one of the program which is loaded in ROM. So this program is important. Important for what? Important to just start a computer. So this way, a ROM contains vital instructions which are important, which are necessary to just start a computer, to boot a computer. And then it switches to the secondary storage device where actual operating system is loaded or installed. At this point of time, it may be a little difficult for you to understand, since this is the first time that you are learning all these things. But I'm trying to tell you from very beginning what is the role of secondary storage. So listen very carefully, watch this video again and again, and try to make the concept clear. Look at the diagram of a ROM that we have made. It's quite small. You can see this. It's why small I have made it, because actually this is very small in size. Why it is small in size? Because it does not play major role after a computer has started. Its role is just in the beginning. It starts a computer, and it also tells that from where the main software, that is the operating system, has to be loaded and the machine has to start. Here a few things should be very clear in your mind. And yes, in your software class, I have made this point also very clear, that softwares are basically of two types. One is system software, one is application software. Application software are such softwares which we need to get some tasks done, get our tasks, some tasks done. Application softwares are needed for us, are important for us. They help us to do any of our work. For example, MS Word is there, that for making documents. MS Excel is there for keeping records, making calculation. PowerPoint is there for making presentation. Access is there for making a database. Photoshop is there for working over the photo editing task. Uh, Video processing softwares are there. Engineering softwares are there. Beside these, go to the mobile, come to mobile and App Store, Google Play Store, Apple Store, Windows Store. All this contains lot and lot of apps, and these are the application softwares which are specifically designed to fulfill one or more requirement of a user. Like if we want to listen to the music, then we have music player with us. That is one of the application software. We want to play game, we want to entertain us, and game also is an application software. So application software is made for users to get some task done. So this was application software. What is system software? Now here comes the point where I wanted to come. System software, as the name suggests, system software is a software which is for the system. System means the computer system. So these are the major software which handles, which manages, which operates, which look after every single thing that is happening in your computer. That is the system software. And system software contains few parts. The system software is subdivided into few parts, but one of the main system software is operating system, about which we have already discussed. But here once again we need to discuss in order to understand the importance of secondary memory from the very beginning. So operating system is a large software, is a big software. How big? I'll tell you about that also. Operating system is stored or installed in secondary memory. Why operating system is installed in secondary memory? There are various reasons. Among them, few are. The first thing is operating systems are large softwares. They need to be kept permanently. So since we have not yet started properly secondary memory, but meanwhile discussing these things, you may also know a few things about secondary storage. That secondary storage devices are large devices. Their storage capacity is very high, very large, as compared to the other memories that we are watching here right now. Secondary memory are very large. The first and the foremost quality and property of a secondary memory is that secondary memory can hold the thing or store the thing for very long time or for permanent. Means things once which are stored in secondary storage devices remain there as long as you are not deleting them. On the other hand, RAM is a volatile memory. RAM cannot store This RAM cannot store the things permanently. These are the volatile memory. The things get erased from RAM when the power is switched off. When your computer shuts down, when the power supply is stopped, the RAM becomes empty. RAM becomes vacant. Everything in RAM get erased. Why this happens, we have already discussed while discussing this RAM and all. So here now we have a comparison between the RAM, which is one of the primary memory, and the secondary storage. The first is RAM's size is not that large. What is the RAM size we have seen? RAM may be 1 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB RAM in very, very advanced machines. But in usual machines, normal machines, we have 2 GB, 4 GB or 8 GB RAM. We see this much. And this is enough for making any work. So RAM is only this much. But what about the secondary storage? Secondary storage devices comes in large capacity. One of the best secondary storage devices, hard disk, which starts with the capacity of 500 GB at least, and 1000 GB, that is called 1 TB, terabyte, that we have already seen in the last class. 2 TB, 4 TB, 8 TB, terabyte. These are the common size of a hard disk which we find normally in a microcomputer. I mean, laptop, desktop. But when once we'll go for the higher computers like computer mainframe, then the hard disk or the storage or the secondary storage capacity increases even more. So secondary storage is very, very large as compared to the RAM. You'll understand everything very slowly, not in one go. Second thing, as I said, RAM can store temporarily while secondary can store it forever or for longer time of permanent. So these two things are the main things about secondary storage device. Now, why I was telling you about the operating system, what is the relation of operating system with secondary storage device? Now, let me make a point very, very clear. As you already know, and if you don't know, then get it in your mind well set. That computer is a machine which works according to our instructions. A computer cannot perform even a single bit of task by itself. It cannot do anything by itself, nothing. It is nothing without instructions. So who gives instruction? We will know. Software developer, we give instructions to the computer. Actually, the software developer, there are various software companies like Microsoft is there, iOS operating system is there. I mean, Microsoft is one of the companies. There are a lot of software companies. Adobe is there. A lot of companies are there. You may get in a list in the Google. So various software companies are there. Among them, Microsoft is one of the leading software company, which is owned by Mr. Bill Gates. He's one of the richest person of this world. And how he became richest person? By just selling softwares. Yes. So what I was telling, Microsoft is just one of the company which makes software, and most of the softwares that we see in our laptops are the product of that company. Like Microsoft Windows. Every time when you start your computer, you see Windows is there. Windows is a name of software which is developed by Microsoft. Although the name Windows means window that we have in our rooms. That that is just a then this that name was given to window. Why that name was given is not no any more concern right now. So I'll discuss that when we'll discuss Windows in more detail. So Windows is just one of the software, and Windows is one of the most prominent operating system worldwide. Is one of the most prominent operating system worldwide. What is the role of operating system? What is that? Operating system is a collection of programs, lot of programs for controlling, for managing each and everything in a computer. When you switch on a computer, then first instructions come from ROM. I start this computer. Then ROM tells that yes, now go to this secondary device where this operating system is loaded and load that operating system. This is one of the technical point I'm adding here. Actually, in a computer, I mean, in a laptop, we may have various secondary devices. Yes, there are various types of secondary device. Few of them, let me name them. We'll see about them in more detail in our subsequent discussion. One is the hard disk, another is pen drive, then is CD, DVD, or Blu-ray disc. A memory card may be there, and these are the common secondary devices. These all may be there in your computer. Yes, of course, these all may be there in the computer. But where the operating system would be? Where will we keep our operating system? So, my dear students, let me add one thing very clearly, that operating system can be loaded in any of this device. That means hard disk may be also used for having an operating system, pen drive, memory card, CD, DVD, Blu-ray disc, anything could be used for storing the operating system. Now let us try to understand a little more about why we actually need secondary storage for holding or storing the operating system. Now let me give you one example. Suppose that you are made an in charge of some organization. You are made a manager. You are made a manager of some organization. And being a manager, you have to handle and manage lot of things. Lot of things. So for managing that big organization, you need a training. A few person of that organization will train you that look, this is how you have to manage this. This is how you have to manage that. This is how you have to manage this. This is how do you have to manage this. So lot of things you need to learn being a manager. So your training may go for a long 1 week or 1 month. That training may go for, and then whatever things you have been taught by them will be kept in your mind, or you will note somewhere that this is how I have to manage this and all. So in other words, you are being programmed for managing that organization. Your training was just nothing other than you were being programmed by them to manage that organization. Yes, the same way operating system is a program which is specially made to manage that particular device. Why it is needed to manage particular device? Look, students, I'd not like to go in much detail and deep. So I'll just give you a few example here in order to understand what the role of operating system actually is. A computer may be in any form, like in laptop or in mobile phone. Let us take example of laptop. And how many things are there you can see in a laptop just from the overview? You see a monitor, you see a keyboard, you see a touchpad, you see buttons that are clicked, you see a CD drive or DVD drive there, you see a card reader, you see a jack for the microphone and the headphone, you see USB ports for connecting various devices. So these are the few things that you are watching from outside. Yes, you can easily see how these things are there, but lot and lot many things are there inside that. I mean, when you dismantle a laptop, you'll see find a lot of things are there. Inside there is various memory devices, RAMs there, and different circuits are there, different cards are there, video card is there, gaming card may be there, sound card may be there, and lot of other devices may be there. So just now we saw that a laptop or any such device contains lot and lot of devices. Now how each one of them is controlled? Who controls them? How, when we type something, then it goes to the screen and we see a, if we type a in the keyboard, then it get displayed there. When we click the mouse, then it is there. When we click the play button, then the sound comes out from the speaker. How it happens? So dear students, there are lot of things beside these things, and all these things are controlled by an operating system. Yes, this is an operating system is. So dear students, this is the role of operating system, and you have to understand this, that yes, what is an operating system. Now if you want to know the size of an operating system, let me show you something. Let me show you, and maybe you may not understand this in one go, but slowly you will understand. Now I'm going to open Windows Explorer, where you can see that I have three drives. One is C drive, one is D drive, one is E drive. I have divided my hard disk in three parts. I have a 500 GB of hard disk, which is one of the secondary storage device. It has been partitioned in three parts. First partition is C drive, again is D drive, and third is E drive. Okay. So you may see also that the label that is labeled there. One is OS. This name you can give. I have given this name OS. Why have you given OS? Because in this drive C, operating system is loaded. Now, about which I have to tell you. This is extra and this is for data. Let us go inside this C drive. Normally in all the machines, the operating system is loaded in drive C, and therefore it is suggested that never go to C drive or never save your contents, your data in a C drive. Always try to save your things in the last drive, whichever is available in your system, and you have to save your things, your content in the last drive always. C drive is reserved for, although you can store there also, but it's always good not to touch this. But for the sake of making you understand the things, let me enter this drive. Double clicking will let you enter this drive. Lot of folders and files will find here, out of which few things are very important, like Windows folder is important one. And let me show you what things this Windows folder contains. Just by right clicking over the Windows and watching the property, you can see that how many things are there and how much size it takes. So look, this count is increasing and it's taking time to calculate. But meanwhile it's doing so, let me tell you that this is the Windows folder. When you install operating system or Windows operating system, you can install any operating system in your this. Linux can be maybe there. Even Android also you can install in the laptop. But here Windows is installed. So when you install Windows, let us be specific regarding the Windows operating system so that the things may become more clear to you. So dear students, look, this is 1,49 or 50,000. So in my computer, a lot of programs, a lot of apps are loaded there, a lot of settings are done. So in my computer specifically, I have a lot of files. As you can see, 1,90,000 and it's going to touch 2 lakhs. Now it has crossed 2 lakh files. So in my system, I have more than 2 lakhs files and it's still counting, which is there in this window folder. And how much space it is taking? Look, 2,21,404 files and 65,730 folders are there. And all these things are there in just one simple Windows folder. Look, these many files and folders are there. What is the use of? Did you make them those things? No, I have not made them. I have just installed few programs and all this. So the number increased. Initially, these many files are not there. There are only 70 to 80,000 files are there. But as the time passes and you install more and more programs, then the number of files also get increased. So I have also seen this in my system, that how many files are there. But more than 2 lakh files are there in the window folder, and see 26 GB of space it is taking. 26 GB of space it is taking. And you can see that what these files are doing. These files are the workers you may find. Think a system like a country. And a lot of systems are made to properly execute a whole country or properly run a country. Don't go that big country. Just reserve yourself in a town. Okay. So in a town also, in Lohardaga town, we have a lot of departments, lot of officers are there, workers are there, which are appointed some work to be done, and they are doing their work. The same way, in the computer system also, lot of files are there, folders are there, and each one of them or their group of files are, these contains basically the instructions that how to perform these things, how to perform the, if you are handling the keyboard, if you are handling the mouse, if you are handling the output, if you are handling the input, if you are handling RAM, if you are handling hard disk, if you are handling this and that. There are a lot of things are there in the computer which are being handled by these things. So it's a large program having these many number of files, and which helps to operate a computer. And this is what an operating system is. And this is just about this one folder. And another important folder is program files. Look at the one of the program file. Look, this program file. Whenever you install any software, any app in your computer, then it get stored in this, either of these two. This program file x86 means 32-bit programs will be loaded, and simple program files means the 64-bit program will be loaded. Look, more than I think now 91,000 files and 21,000 folders are there, and it's taking 10 GB of the space. What it contains, let us see. Look, a lot of programs are there: NVIDIA graphics card, and Windows Media Player, Photo Viewer, and SQL Server, Windows, and a lot of Visual Studio, and a lot of programs are loaded. No, these things are there, Firefox and all. You can find all the programs that we installed goes to the program file folder. We are discussing the importance of secondary storage. See how important the secondary storage is. These many. Now let us also see this. Why to leave this? So this also contains lot of files, and of course. So you may see lakhs and lakhs of files and folders are there which work together in a system. This has been programmed. Who made all these things? The programmer, the software companies. And for this, they charge money for this, because a lot of hard work is behind every software. A lot of hard work is behind every software. So, dear students, I hope that you might have understood this part of the discussion, which was telling you about collectively about what an operating system is, how much space it takes, and where it is stored. And wherever it is stored, it is the secondary storage. And we need secondary storage because it has high capacity. It can store the things permanent. So thank you, students. We'll see the next part in the next class.